their life story, or you know someone who may want to write the life story of someone that they love, invite them to join us. I'm going to drop the link into the chat, and I'm going to also send it out to the rest of the family. For those of you who are new to us, welcome. I'm excited to get to know you all a little bit today via the chat. All right. So use the chat, use the space that you can sort of type in. This is going to be a little bit interactive. I'm going to be coming on camera in just a moment. So welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited to have you all here. Today has been a day, you all. It is only 12 noon. My God, I feel like I have been around the world and back again already. And it's just 12 noon. So I'm going to get started in just a moment, but I just dropped into the chat box. All right, I just dropped into the chat box the link for other people to join us. We are kicking off a movement, 100,000 stories. Our job is to capture 100,000 stories. Okay, we're kicking off this movement. That means that we got to spread it beyond just us. Okay, so that means share it out. Okay, share it out. So I'm dropped the link into the chat box. You should be able to see that there. I'm going to send it out to a few more people now as well, because we always have people that say, hey, I didn't know you all were doing this. I didn't know it was happening. And I'm trying to tell them, yo, every week almost we have some type of training, right? We have some type of community discussion almost every week. So if you haven't been connected with us, I'm glad that you're here today. I'm glad you're here today. Hey, Sister Iola, thank you so much. That is one of our legacy story keepers. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that I want to see if I can actually invite people to be able to share. Next time I do it, I may do it on Zoom so I can unmute you all and you'll be able to talk and such. But Sister Iola is one of our legacy story keepers. She has now completed 2 life stories, right? 2 life stories. You may say, how did she do that? She only has one life. She is focused on 2 different aspects of her life, right? So some may say memoir, you may use a different term. I don't care what you call it, but it's a book focused on her life. And she's done 2 of them now. Recently graduated with our last cohort in the Legacy Story Keepers, and is able to preserve and share her information for her other family members. I think I see Brother Nazim. Is that you as well, Brother Nazim? If that's you, type it to the chat box. Let me know that that's you. That's my Brother Nazim, which is another one of our legacy keepers. He is on the cusp. He is almost finished with his life story, his book specifically focusing around God-sized problems, how to deal with God-sized problems. Let me come on the camera. How to deal with God-sized problems, specifically sharing his experience with the loss of his son, his namesake son, when he was just a child, and what came after that, how he rebuilt his life, how he didn't crumble in the corner, how he was able to still be the strong man for those who needed him. So that is Brother Nazim with his God-sized problems. And I think I think that's my Brother Nazim. So today, you all, we're going to be talking about life stories, okay? We're going to be talking about things that are happening in the world. I'm going to share some of the information that we have coming out of this body of work around cultural heritage, cultural legacy. Now, if you've been to one of my lives before or my master class before, some of what you see here is going to be familiar to you, and some of it will be new to you. All right, some is going to be familiar, some of it is going to be new to you. But either way it go, we have some good information. All right, so let me just double check and make sure everything is working on my side, and you should be able to hear me. I'm going to double check that in a second. This is very important, you all, right? When you're doing things with technology, you have to make sure that it is working before you continue on, because you can be all up in it and then realize, oh my God, I didn't even have the microphone working, or you know, they couldn't see me or whatever, all the different things. And side note, when you're writing your stories, checking your technology is very important as well, right? Because there are people who have lost their entire books. Not my folks really, but there are people who have been writing over the years. Something happened, they lost their entire book. Why did they lose their entire book? Because the technology didn't support what it is that they were trying to do, right? So checking technology is very important, period, but especially when you are looking to do your life stories. You want to make sure that putting in that effort, right? Putting in the effort works. Am I frozen, Rena? Rachel, I don't know. Am I frozen for anybody else? Can anybody else hear me? Are you all able to hear me? That's okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to open up the slides here and let's see. Share. Put this down. You guys, yo, today has been crazy. Let me tell you, it's like 10 degrees here in Michigan. I left out to go take the kids to school this morning. And I said, I'll leave my computer at home. I have to come back. I'm going to be with you all around noon. So I'll just leave the computer at home. And I'm driving. I have to make one stop because one kid left something. So I had to make one stop. And then I get back on the freeway and I'm going and I start hearing this. And I start feeling this boom. I'm like, what the heck? You know what I mean? It's dark because it's like 7 a.m. So I realized, oh my God, my tire, something has happened to my tire. So luckily I was like maybe a quarter of a mile from the exit. And so I had to make a decision. Am I going to get over on the side of the road and have us on the precarious situational space? Or am I going to try to make it to the, to the exit up here? And you know what I said? I said, I don't care. I'm going to ride this tire right up to the exit. So I got up to the exit, pulled over. We were able to be safe in the Aldi parking lot, and AAA, AAA, you wish it was 30 minutes, but it's usually hours, which it was today. But we're safe, we're sound. They got to school 3 hours something late. I was able to take the tire to the tire guys and they are going to fix that. So after I finish with you all, I'll go back and get my tire and stuff. But it just goes to say, like, you don't really know what's going to happen in our lives. You can set out on one thing in the morning, something totally out of your control comes and derails your entire thing. Y'all ever had this happen to you? Or am I the only one that has had something totally outside of their control come and totally like derail? Y'all know what I'm talking about? If you know what I'm talking about, type yes into the chat. So I know I'm not alone, right? But this is a reminder for us when we're talking about this life story legacy work, right? We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring for any of us. So if we think that, legacy writing is a nice to do thing, I can do it when I feel like it, it's going to always be there, you're wrong. Because just like my tire blew out today, something else can blow out. You just never know. You never know. And to be honest, this is one of the reasons why I'm in this legacy work, period, right? It's one of the reasons why I'm in this work. I was already in publishing. Let me see who we got here in the room first. If this is your first time coming to one of my lives or classes, type newbie into the chat. If this is your first time coming to one of my lives or classes, type newbie into the chat. If you're part of the family, you're in the legacy family, type legacy into the chat. So I want to see who we have here in the room. Welcome, Angela. I'm happy to have you here. Welcome, Angela. I want to know, who are my newbies in the room and who are my legacy family? Who's my legacy family? Newbie, Miss Gloria, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, come on in. Hey, Miss Ruth. Okay, Sister Nafisa. Is that my Sister Nafisa Mahdi too? who is finishing up her book as well. Now, my legacy family, those of you who are in the Legacy Story Keepers, you're in our paid program, right? You're writing your books with us. I want you all to like help out the newbies in the chat, okay? They may have some questions come up. Some things may be a little bit unclear, or I don't know, but just kind of be there to help them out if they have any questions or such. And my newbies, if anything comes up for you, right, you have a question around something that I'm presenting or sharing on, feel free to type into the chat box. I will go back and review the questions, and I'll make sure that we close everything out, that we clean out everything that we want to have here today. Okay? That sound good, everybody? Hey, Miss Willenstein, all my people, all my people. I really wish that I could, I'm going to see if it allows me. I think that it does at some point allow me to make you guys co-hosts. So there's going to be a moment where I'm going to maybe ask some of our legacy keepers to, I'm going to see if I can make you co-host. You don't have to come on camera, so don't worry about that. I know people like, I'm not camera ready, Z. You don't have to come on camera, but I'm going to see if I can make you co-host, which will then allow you to unmute yourself. Okay, it'll allow you to unmute yourself. So, and I'm going to have you guys come off and share a little bit about your projects and what you've learned, right, in the process of writing your life stories. Okay, so we'll see if that works. We'll see if that works. I don't know if it's going to work yet, but we'll see. We shall see what happens. All right. All right. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Miss Teresa, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Brother Nazim is one of our story keepers. Sister Willie, yes. Sister Ayola, Sister Nafisa, yes, yes, yes. Sister Madhu Nubi, welcome, welcome. Sister Gravit, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, you all. So today we're talking about legacy. Now, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Zarina El-Amin. I am the founder of the Legacy Story Keepers movement. We are here because we recognize that stories, family stories, the wisdom, the knowledge, the experiences that each of us individual people hold, we recognize those as assets, cultural assets, and they are to be preserved. They are to be preserved and passed down for generations to come. Okay, so we don't see stories just as a nice thing to have. We recognize that cultural involvement, family, stability, all of it comes from having our stories, our wisdom, our knowledge, our experiences captured, and having those things captured in a way that we can pass it down, that we can share it to the next generation. Now, we're talking about books specifically. And why are we talking about books specifically? Now, how many of y'all went to school? Some of you all may say I was homeschooled. Some of you all maybe went to a one-room school. Some of you all maybe went to some other type of school, but we've all had some type of education, right? There is one thing that all of us, one tool that all of us have used multiple times within our schooling. And what is that? Somebody type into the chat box if you know what I'm talking about. Any classroom that you've been in, period, really. Any class that you've taken or school that you've gone to always has at least one of these in it. And what am I talking about? Y'all still with me? This is not going to work, y'all, if you don't utilize the chat, because I'm in my house in Detroit. I don't know where you are yet, right? I don't know where you are, but you hear me. I can't hear you yet, but that means we got to have like a little, interaction. And the best way for us to be able to do that is through the chat. So get your fingers ready. If you're on your phone, get your thumbs ready, right? So we can hear. All right. So Miss Teresa said library. And what's in a library, Miss Teresa? What's in a library? Bada boom, bada bing. Bada boom, bada bing. What's in the library, y'all? We gotta wake up, you guys. Because if I'm gonna be sharing this information and you're not gonna get it, what are we doing? Books of knowledge. Yes, thank y'all. Thank you, Sister Akua, Sister Teresa, Sister Nafisa, Brother Nazim. Yes, Sister Madyun. Thank you. Books. We're focused on books, you all, because books are one of the most powerful tools that we have in order to pass down information, in order to share information from one person to the next person, from one generation to the next generation. Okay. Now, there is a myth happening right now in our society where we feel as though people don't read. Anybody heard this before? They say, nobody's reading anymore. Books are dead. We hear this over and over and over again. However, why is it that the powerful amongst our society, people who are billionaires, people who are multimillionaires, people who have access to all different types of formats, if books are dead and nobody's reading anymore, why is everybody writing a book then? I mean, Will Smith, movie star, huge mega movie star. He could do any show he wants to, and he does shows. But what did he do as well? He wrote his own book. Oprah just put out a book. Barack Obama. I mean, he could do anything. He could have a series of videos out about him. Why are the powerful amongst us investing their time, their energy, and their resources into the written word? Because the written word has been here since the times, centuries. It has succeeded, right? It has been able to move down step by step throughout the generations. So the written word has power. So I see Sister Ayola. I'm going to bring her up. So Sister Ayola, you don't have to come on camera. You do not have to come on camera.
Okay.
Sister Lola, if you're having technical difficulties, you may want to be on a computer if you can. If you can't be on a computer, then just shut down a lot of the other things that you may have going on your screen, on your device, right? This goes for anybody. If you have a lot of stuff going on, like shut that stuff down and just kind of keep this one open, and hopefully it will reduce some of your technical issues. So I want to bring to the virtual audio stage right now Sister Ayola Corbett, who is a two-time author. She is an Amazon best-selling author. She put together 2 books surrounding parts of her life, different aspects of her life. The most recent one, I was going to look around and see if I had it up here. I do. Look at me, y'all. Oh, you can't see it because wait, I'm gonna see if I can turn this. I'm gonna turn this virtual background off so you can actually see. There we go. So look, you all see that? Can y'all see it? Let me know in the chat. Can you see it? I hope so. So this is Sister Ayola's book, the second book, Oh the Places I Have Lived, Legacy and Family Stories. Sister Ayola just finished this one at the end of last year. The end of last year, we finished this. She wrote it out beautifully, dug deep, courageously, and now she has 2 books. So, Sister Ayola, welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Everybody can hear her?
Good. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Always happy to support Zarina. She's my girl. That's my girl.
I love her. Sister Ayola, tell us a little bit about, what this whole thing means to you. Let's just start there. This is your second book, like I mentioned. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes resources. Why? Like, why was it important for you to come into the program? But bigger than that, like to actually do this legacy writing stuff. Why was it important?
Number one, as you tell us all the time, we're not promised tomorrow. And if we don't write it down, if we don't speak it out, if we don't talk to someone about it, it will be lost when they put that last bit of dirt on you. And I've been in the Islamic community for a very long time. I've saw a lot of things, and I was like, maybe somebody else would be interested in some of the things that I've seen and gone through and proud of. So a sister in Atlanta, she said, you should join the class. You should join the class. And I jumped right in with my first book, Growing Up Muslim, and the journey continues. And I'm so happy that the journey is continuing. And as I went on, you know, that one was pretty successful. And I was like, well, man alive, let my children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren know something about my life. Because if I don't tell them, and my children don't tell them, and my grandchildren don't tell them, then they won't know. Yeah. So that's when I started, the places I have lived. Not a whole bunch of places, but very interesting life in those places. So yeah, and I encourage everyone, we got to get that 130,000 people to write something down, write something down, record something. We have recordings of my mom. My daughter would ask her questions, you know, but I didn't ask her a lot of questions, you know. I don't know how she met my dad. You know, I don't know. But I'm on this journey, God willing, for life. I want to keep it going because, you know, I think of stuff all of the time. I don't know how many more books I may have in me.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm happy to be here, and I'd encourage everybody to join in. You may have to put a little out of your pocket, but so what? You buy coffee every day. You buy eat beans and write a book.
I'm going to have to make that a t-shirt.
Yes.
Eat beans and write a book.
That's right. That's right. Because you're going to pay for something. And and it was a journey that I would do over and over again. And I thank you. Thank you,
Sister Ayola. Thank you so much, you know, for like you said, sometimes it can be a sacrifice to do some things, whether it's a financial sacrifice, whether it's a sacrifice for time, whatever it may be. When we have something that we want to achieve, something else has to give, right? In order for us to achieve this goal of having our stories in our own words. So now your kids don't have to wonder, your grandkids, your great grandkids, and your future great grandkids, they don't have to wonder about who you were, what you thought about, what was important to you, because they have it in your own words, right? Sister Ayola, before I let you go, like, with your children now, right? What have any of them said anything to you about you writing these, you know, these books? Because I know some of us have family members where our children care right now and they're excited about us. Some of us have family members where the kids don't yet care, right? It may be the grandkids that care later on down the line. But I'm just curious for you, with your children or grandchildren or such, like, have any of them said anything about either of the books?
Oh yes, they have, and it's funny because, you know, they read them and they read some stuff that was, I put my youngest daughter, I put the wrong age for her in my book, and she rags me about that all the time. But it's a lot of stuff that they was like, wow, I didn't know that happened. And so they have a book club, so they're reading my book for their book club. So that was just phenomenal. I was like, that's right, you read all those other books, read my book for your book club. And then my daughter in California, she has a studio, and she has my book out, and she sold untold amounts of books just from having it out.
Wow.
And, yeah, so they talk about it, and then I always have to put the part in there that I had met Malcolm X when I was very, very young, and you know, people are into Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So when they read about that I actually had a relationship with him at a very young age, they're like, wow, I can't believe
Well,
it.
not that type of relationship, y'all, because you got some people they be
No,
like,
no.
wait a minute, what kind of relationship? Wasn't she very young?
No.
Like, was she like not
No,
that type of
It wasn't that. No, it was minister to young girls growing up in the Nation of Islam, and he had a lot of knowledge that he put out for all of us. Yeah. And I was just happy enough and privileged enough to see him on one-to-one, along with my parents. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that. She said they these people read these books. They got these book clubs. Wait a minute. You know what I mean? I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Sister Ayola.
You're welcome.
For sharing that and such. And like she said, if you got to eat beans to write your book, eat beans and make it happen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sister Willistine, I'm going to be coming to you in just a moment. I'm going to come to you in just a moment as well. So you all, what did you get out of what Sister Ayola just said? Let me know in the chat, right? She talked about having different things in her life that she wanted to share. She talked about the experiences, right? Putting those things down. She talked about the sacrifice of deciding that she was going to do it, making it happen. What did you all get out of that as well? So Teresa said preservation of ideas. Yes, absolutely, right? The preservation of our ideas, our experiences, our family history, because I don't know about you, but I know there are certainly questions that I wish I could ask my grandmother and certainly my great grandmother. And so if my grandmother had written something down and I had something in her own words, even if it was like 2 pages, even if it was, 10 pages, even if it wasn't a full extensive book, I would greatly cherish that, right? And so what we're doing now is like we're giving our future generations, the future community, whether we have children or not, right? The community that's going to come behind us, we're really giving them a gift. We're really giving them a gift. Sister Akua said, I sat in one of your workshops some years ago and didn't follow through because of the money required. I like eat beans and write a book. Yes. Yeah, Sister Akua, sometimes we gotta, make it happen. We talk about this in our group though. So we're also like team no excuses. So no matter what we want to do, we're going to make it happen. Sister Nafisa, answers to questions one might have later in life. Yeah. The other thing that comes about when we're talking about writing life stories, and let me just poll the audience real quick before we continue on. How many of you all here are writing your own life story? You're going to be writing your life stories or some aspects of things that happen to you personally. You're going to be writing your own life story. And then how many of you all here are going to be writing the life story of someone that you love? That could be someone that is currently still with us, a grandmother, the matriarch, patriarch of your family, maybe. It could be someone that we have lost and you're writing a tribute book about them. But it's someone outside of yourself. Okay, so let's see who we have here. I want to know, are you writing your own book, your own story, or are you going to be focusing on the story of someone that you love? All right, Miss Teresa, I will write my own life story. Sister Akua, my story, and capture the story of my mother, who is 91 years young and still cognizant. That is a blessing, Sister Akua. You are literally living in a gold mine, right? You have gold underneath your feet, at your fingertips. So this is extremely important, and that is a blessed place that you're in. Sister Ruth, Mine is Secret City Baby because I was born in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, in the Manhattan Projects. I have written about 100 pages so far. Clap it up for her, you guys. Sister Ruth, she has already started her story. She is about 100 pages written so far. So, clap it up, clap it up. Now, one of the things that we have recognized through this process of writing our life stories and doing this work is that it's not only the gift to the future, right? We talked about the book being a gift for our families, and we recognize that it is a gift for our families. But guess what else? It's also a gift for ourselves. It's also a gift for ourselves. What the research has been showing surrounding narrative writing, doing personal reflection, really digging deep into who we are, our identity, how we got to be the people that we are today. What were the cultural wounds that bore us? Who were the people that poured into us? Who were the people that we don't ever want to see them jokers again either? We learned some lessons and they can stay far away, All of these things, when you're writing your life stories, it allows you to do a deep self audit. And you're going to come to who you are. And one of the beautiful things about it is that when you do this work, you're able to step outside of yourself and look at yourself from a mountaintop view where you can see the valleys of your life. You can see the mountaintops of your life. You can see the paths that you took, and you're able to be like, I see what was going on here, I see what was going on. There may be a part where you stumbled a lot and you sort of fell down. And you may have been feeling like that stumbling, that falling down was the worst thing ever in your life. You were so ashamed about it. It was just horrible, terrible. You don't want to tell anybody about that part. But when you're looking down from the mountaintop, you can see, oh my God, I can see why I stumbled right there, because right before that is this A, B, C, D, E, F, G over here. It was inevitable for me to stumble right there. But guess what? I didn't stay right there. I came out of it. And this new lens, this new way of looking at your life is one of empathy. It's one of love, self-love, and self-awareness, because you're able to see the characters who were at play in your life, and you're able to understand more about the decisions that you made and how those decisions came to be. So one of the things that we're learning about life story writing and doing the self-reflection and such is that it gives us a new awareness of who we are at our core. And to be honest, that is one of the biggest ambitions of life, to know who we are. And we can see when you don't know who you are, we see the ramifications of that. We have people who have all of the material goods. They have the money, they have the cars, they have the yachts. They can jump and go here or buy that or do whatever it is that they want to do on a monetary level. And then we hear about someone that wasn't satisfied with that, right? They weren't satisfied with that for whatever reason. And I'm not speaking about like deep depression and actual chemical reactions in the brain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the social side, right? And so what we understand is that material goods and money don't make us have the self-love, have the awareness that is necessary. So having the ability to kind of sit down, look at who you are, look at the choices that were made, look at the characters that were at play, it gives you your own sense of empathy for yourself, and it gives you like a new lens of looking outward, right? It gives you a new lens of looking outward. So Sister Willa Steen, I'm going to bring her up, and I hope she'll be able to unmute. We'll see if the technology works. But Sister Willie is one of our brand new graduates. Let me first say, she is graduating from the Legacy Story Keepers on February 15th, you all. You all are all invited. I'm going to send out the registration link. February 15th, we're going to be having our story launch day. It is the day where our current graduates are going to come. They're going to be sharing some of their biggest lessons that they've learned about life. They're going to talk about them writing their life stories. They're going to read out a little bit, and we're going to be literally sitting at their feet and just talking about their experiences and being able to celebrate this work that we're doing. So you all are invited to see Miss Willie cross the virtual stage on February 15th. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. February 15th. That's a Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're here on this list, you will receive an invitation to come. It's going to be virtual, of course, and you'll be able to invite other people as well. But we really implore you, like encourage you, come to that day, because it's absolutely beautiful. And I'll say this, but while I'm bringing Miss Willie up to talk about her experience with writing and some of the lessons and such, is that nobody else is doing this type of work at all, right? What Sister Ayola, what Sister Willie, what Brother Nazim, what Sister Nafisa, what they have done with this conscious decision to go through and write their life stories, this is a big deal. We're in the middle, and I say this all the time, but we are in the middle of a cultural war. You can see it every single day in the news. They're taking books out of libraries. They're removing panels out of exhibitions. They are banning certain ideas from going forward. We're in the middle of a cultural war. We happen to be soldiers in a different way. We are a brigade in a different way. And I want you all to understand that it is a big deal. There are lots of people who don't want us, one, to do the type of deep introspection because of how the evolution of humans, how that works with us. When we start doing that work, it makes us better people. So they don't want us to be better people, period. And then second, they definitely don't want us to be documenting information. Like they don't want that at all. You think if they're removing stuff out of exhibitions about historical facts that they want you to start sharing your stuff? Like, nah, they don't want that at all. So just recognize that this is a big deal. All right, so Miss Willie, welcome to the virtual stage, our newest Legacy Story Keeper. Welcome.
It's my pleasure. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Yes.
loud and clearly. So, Miss Willie, we got February 15th coming on up. But I was talking about like what writing does to us individually as the authors themselves and going through the process. So for you, can you share a little bit about like what writing your life story brought to you as yourself? Not necessarily yet for your kids, but like for you. What did you get out of it?
Writing my life story is what I've been waiting for all my life. It was so therapeutic. And let me explain what I mean. I had my story within my heart, within my mind, within my dreams, but being able to put it on paper healed me and is healing me. I am writing about a pivotal moment in my life. But I realized that my story is the story of so many other people. My story is based on a faith-based couple, which included me, who got a divorce. And people will say, well, there are many books out about divorce, and there are many uh, announcements about divorce, the rich and the famous or whatever. But I realized in writing that my writing, my story, was actually the story of so many other people. I was able to draw from the memories that were buried. When I was prompted through the process prompts you to look, it'll ask you questions that make you do a deep dive and really think about how did you feel, where were you, what were you seeing, what were you smelling, what was happening in the world around you. It just opened up so many things underneath the surface of the divorce. It has been the best thing that has ever happened to me, uh, or on a very cultural level, a personal level, and an emotional level.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Sister Willie, it was a joy to have you in the class. It is a joy to have you in the class because you came in full, full stream ahead. Is that what they say? Is that the
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
And you weren't afraid. I know it wasn't easy all the time, but you weren't afraid to kind of go to the depths and and stir it up a little bit, stir up some of the emotions that come when we're kind of talking about a valley period in our life or such. Like, how were you able to kind of deal with that? Because I don't know here, we'll see if anyone has any questions and such, but I know that some people shy away from thinking about their life because of the valleys, because of some of the harder times. And they're like, okay, just, that's buried, keep it buried. I don't want to unearth that. I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to relive that again. But what you describe is like coming on the other side of it. But like, how were you able to deal with the times when it was like, ooh, that was painful?
Yeah, I let it. I stirred up, or something stirred up a memory, and I let it set. I didn't run away from the emotion. Some of the things that I wrote about took me back almost to how I really felt during that time. And
Uh-oh, Sister Willie. I don't know if it's frozen on just my side or if it's frozen for everybody. Is it just me, you guys, or am I frozen? Okay, you lost her too. Yeah, let me see. Sister Willie, we lost you and it was getting good. Okay. Yeah. So let me see. I don't know if she can hear us. Sister Willie. Okay, you can hear me. Sister Willie, we lost you. But you guys, did you hear what she was talking about? Like, this is some of the stuff we're going to be talking about on the graduation. Graduation is February 15th. Okay. So I'm going to be introducing. Oh, wait, I think she's back. Sister Willie? Nope. Nope. So on February 15th, we're going to be launching their stories into the world. Okay. We're going to be launching their stories into the world. Now, I should say that within our program, people have a choice. Our clients have a choice. They don't have to publish their stories for the world. Sometimes they may want to publish something that's just for their families. And that's good. And that's fine. And that's more than acceptable. Not everybody wants everything to be for the world, right? And so they have a choice. You have a choice. If you're going to be joining our Legacy Story Keepers program, you have a choice. You can decide to write your story and publish it out and share it with everybody else, or you can decide that, hey, I'm writing this just for my family's eyes only. Sister Marva is another one of our Legacy Story Keepers, our clients that's going to be graduating on February 15th. 3 p.m., February 15th, you're all invited. I really want you all to show up and be there because this is huge. February 15th, 3 p.m. Sunday, Eastern time. So Sister Marva said, hey, you know what? Like, this has been amazing. I just want this to be for my family's eyes only. And that's great. And the reason I'm saying this is because sometimes people feel like when they're writing a book or they're writing a story that I got to get bestseller. I got to get bestseller. I got to like thousands, you know, this ain't really about that at all. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Like I just told you, Sister Ayola was an Amazon bestseller. Amazing, great. But that's not actually why I put this project together. I put this together for the reasons that we already discussed, right? To share this wisdom for future generations, whether it be our bloodline or expanded, and also for our own self-reflections. And that doesn't require me to have a million people in order for it to be successful. Okay. And so this is important because sometimes we make up these false goals and I got to do this and I got to do it this way. And all that stuff is just the devil trying to stop you from actually getting it done. You feel like you got to be Toni Morrison, Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston. You got to be some, you know, some big name Maya Angelou author, and you don't. We just want to know you, your regular life, what you think is mundane and oh, I didn't do that much. That's what we want to know. That is really where the gold sits. All right. That's really where the gold sits. So let me share my screen real quick. And then we're going to open up for Q&A. And I'm going to tell you guys about how you can join the Legacy Story Keepers as well. Let me see. Share. Da-da-da. You guys let me know if it comes up. Okay. You should be able to see my screen. I hope that's what you're seeing. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I hope that's what you're seeing. No, we'll do it that way. All right. So this is a picture that I took in Senegal. And because I'm talking about legacy, right? And we're talking about trying to have something that's going to be passed down for centuries to come, right? Now, I come from a people, I am African American, which comes with a historical that comes with history of how my people got to be here, right? And so my people come from West Africa, and I have frequented and taken women on groups to experience West Africa so we can go back to the motherland, right? Side note, we're going to Morocco in October. We have a few spaces left for that trip in October. Anybody interested in coming with us in October to Morocco, just send me a message. I'll let you know about that. But what I want to say here about Senegal is because in Senegal, stories are not just preserved, they're like performed, they're sung, and they're passed down orally in ways that hold the community together. So, how many of you all heard the term griot? That's one word for this type of oral historian. But this lady here, I happened to be at an event, a trash event, y'all. The event was about trash. It was about trying to clean up the neighborhood and clean up the community. There were shovels and all kinds of stuff around. It was about trash. Everybody's up there speaking, people getting up. And then this lady kept getting up and interrupting every time someone was hitting the stage. And I was like, oh my God, either she is really passionate about this trash or something else is going on. Maybe everybody knows she's just the interrupter or whatever. So when it was over, I asked my friend, Eluseinu Ba, who was the guy who was coordinating that part of our trip. I said, hey, you know what? Like, it was two ladies that were just interrupting the whole time. I was like, what was going on with that? He said, huh? I said, yeah, the two ladies, they just kept interrupting. And I had snapped a picture of her. So I showed him. And he said, oh, those are our griots. He said they weren't interrupting. He said they were reminding the speaker of their family. They were telling the speaker, this is who your mother was. This is who your grandfather. They were literally running down the history of that individual who came to the mic. And I said, hot dog, think about the power of that. Think about the power of that, right? So old societies understand the importance of history. They understand the importance of family wisdom. They understand the importance of knowing who you come from, right? So much so that they have whole industries around the preservation of these stories. Now, we here, I told you I'm African American. I come from this line of preservation, but I have been cut off from that practice. There is a gap in my history. I can only go so far. I can't control how far back I can go, but I can control from here forward, and I can make sure that I'm doing my part today to capture what I can for the future generations. You understand? So we are modern day griots. We are the preservers of the knowledge. This is why in our manifesto for the Legacy Story Keepers, we say it is up to us. We're not waiting for permission. We're not asking anybody else, is it okay if I write my story? Is it okay if I capture this? Can I give this knowledge to my... We're not asking for permission. We understand what we're sitting on, and we also understand that we've been letting our knowledge end up 6 feet in the ground over and over and over again. We all got stories of people that passed that we wish we had asked more questions. Even if it was just a simple, how did you meet my mama? How did you meet your first love? Who was your best friend when you were a child? What's some of the stuff you did when you were a kid? Like little things that seem very mundane, but they actually make us who we are. That's the stuff that we're capturing, okay? And it's more important than we know. So I want to tell you all about our Legacy Story Keepers so that you understand what we have going on here, okay? So the Legacy Story Keepers is our program that is a group writing process. This is our container where people like Sister Ayola, people like Sister Willie, people like Brother Nazim, people like Sister Nafisa, who are all here on the screen, where we come together and we walk you through the process of writing your life story. So you're not sitting by yourself trying to do it all alone. You're doing it with us in a group, with other people who are also on the same path as you. Okay, so what's included in the program? We have 3 major components of this program. The first thing is what we call the portal or the course. Let me stop this share. The first thing is the portal or the course, okay? So what's in the course? All of the prompts that walk you through from early childhood to middle, all of that, but not just like, surface, we go deeply within it, okay? So we give you an outline and a structure to follow that allows you to really pull some of the memories, allows you to decide what's going to go in here and what's not. Because how many of us are over 10 years old? How many of us are over 20? If you're over 20, put 20. If you're over 30, put 30. If you're over 40, put 40. If you're over 50, put 50. If you're over 60, put 60. If you're over 70, put 70. If you're over 80, put 80. If you're over 90, I think my eldest client so far is currently 92, but when she published, she was 89. Okay, so let me know what decade you're in. And any of these decades, we have more than 10 memories, right? We have lives. We have things that we've experienced over and over again. We have valleys. We have, ups and downs. We have people. We have things, right? And so we got to be able to decide what's going to go in the book and what's not going to go in. So that is important because we can't end up with these Life Story Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica. Like, that's not going to happen. Nobody's going to read all that. So we got to be able to decide what's going to go in and what's not. All of that is like in the portal. And I'll tell you, like Sister Ayola said, hey, I don't know how many books I may want to write. I got a lot of things that I may want to get out long term. However many you want to write, you can always come to that portal at any time. So if you're up in the middle of the night, 4 a.m., and you're like, you know what? I want to work on something. I want to process something that I've been thinking about through life. You get to come on in there, pull out the lessons around these things and work on it 4 a.m., 4 p.m., whenever inspiration hits you. Okay. So the class itself, the portal itself, the worksheets, the handouts, all of that make up a portion of the experience in the Legacy Story Keepers. And you get lifetime access to that. So while we continue to add things to that, you're going to get access to that in the program. The second thing that we have here in the Legacy Story Keepers is that we have community. Okay, we have community. That means that all of the other people who are doing this type of work, who are also Legacy Story Keepers, who care about culture, you get to connect with them. Now, that may not seem like a big deal because you may say, I don't care about everybody else. I just want to write my life story. But can I tell you that connection is one of the most important things in life, period. And when you get to connect with other people globally who have the same similar mindset of you, it's powerful. So we get to come to our office hours, right? We have 2 times a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. And we get to connect with other people. So if you're at home sometimes and you're like, dang, I'm bored. I wish I could go back to school just to like have some adult conversations. I'll tell you, Sister Ayola and them, drop it into the chat. Brother Nazim, drop it into the chat. Sister Nafisa, drop it into the chat. We have some powerful discussions in this Legacy Story Keepers program. The discussions alone, even if I didn't, and I want you to write your life story, that's the purpose. But even if I didn't, and I just came to the office hours, I just came to the classes to listen and participate in the discussions, I can tell you I'm going to be a better person just from that, hands down. Am I right? Am I right? I'm going to let them type into the chat box, but I'm telling you, the discussions that we have are amazing. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that the honey that has brought all of us together, we have some amazing people in this community, and it has just elevated all of us. So that's the second thing that you get when you join the Legacy Story Keepers program. You get access to this amazing community. Okay, you get access to this amazing community. Now, in addition to those things, we have guest instructors that come periodically. I used to say monthly, but periodically we have guest instructors that come around other subjects, auxiliary subjects, decluttering your home. You may say, why is that relevant when I'm talking about my life story and such? Because these are things that sort of come about when we're in our lives and when we're trying to optimize our lives. Some of us may have 8 decades of stuff in our house. I don't want to leave all this stuff for my kids to go through. So is it necessary to write a life story? No. Is it a nice thing to talk about and work through? Yes. So they're optional. Genealogy, these are the types of things that we talk about when we're doing our guest instructors, when we're bringing our guest instructors in. Okay. So what you're going to do with us is you're going to come into our family. We're going to hold your hand. We're going to meet with you, all of the group together, and we're going to write these stories. We're going to talk about our lives and we're going to put it down for future generations to come. Whether you want to publish for the world or not is your choice. After you finish with this program, you will have a self-edited, written, clean manuscript. If you want to go ahead and put that into a book format, we're here to help you, or you can utilize one of our self-publishing DIY programs and do it yourself, right? Or you can, whatever it is. If you just want to have your story electronically and on paper for your family, you can also do that, right? You can also do that. Now, one of the bonuses that we have added to the program is centered around AI. How many of you all have heard around AI? Anybody heard about ChatGPT or, Claude, or maybe any of these AI tools? Anybody heard about Chat? So in the program, I have added in specialty training around how to use AI to polish your stories. Some of us don't know about all those grammatical rules. A before, what is it? I before E, except after C. You know what I mean? All those grammar rules. What if I told you you don't even need to know all of those grammatical rules to write an actually great life story? What if I told you that AI can actually clean up what you write and keep your voice, because we're going to train it to do it in a certain way. You can't just feed it and think it's going to spit out what you want without training it. You have to train it properly. Once you do that, it can clean up what you give it and give you a beautiful chapter that's written nicely and it still sounds like you. This is a game changer. We didn't have this even last year, right? I mean, we didn't have this technology. It's changing every single day. We're staying on top of it. I just finished doing the AI training this 2 weeks ago now. Or is it this past week? The days are flowing together, but we are investing in our knowledge so that we can bring that back to you all here. Okay. So we're going to conferences, we're taking all the things so that we can bring that here to you all. So do you have to use AI? No. But for those of you who want to, or if you say, like, I'm not a really strong writer, how do I edit this? How do I really make it flow? We're going to show you how to do that in our special bonus that we've added around AI. Sound good? Yeah, that sound exciting? Does anybody have any fears around writing at all? I'm curious. Let me know. Does anybody have any fears around writing? Like, oh, I don't know if it's actually going to sound good or not. I don't know what this is actually going to sound good or not, right? I don't know. So this is what we're doing in the Legacy Story Keepers program. All right, we're holding your hand while you write out your draft. You're meeting with us. We're connecting. We're sharing. Okay, and we're also learning at the same time. Most of us are people who like knowledge. We want to learn. We want to be better. Okay, that's what we're doing in this class as well. Now, how much does the class cost? What's the investment for you to join the Legacy Story Keepers? Now, I'll tell you that what we're doing here is priceless. To be honest, you can't even put a monetary value on you can't put a monetary value on having something that is this culturally rich, this firsthand knowledge, and passing that down. Like, there is no there is no monetary value. I'm trying to think. I keep laughing. I'm hesitating because while I'm saying it now, I'm trying to think, like, if I had some $10,000 diamonds in one hand and I had some stories from the elders in my life in the other hand, which one would I want? Like, you know what I mean? Like, which one would I want? Would I want these $10,000 diamonds, or would I want these stories that are priceless to me? I'm going to take the stories day in and day out. It's a no-brainer for me. That little $10,000, like, I can make $10,000 again. How much money have you made over your lifetime? Right? More than $10,000. Right? All of us, I don't care how old you are, all of us have made more than $10,000 in our lifetime. So 10,000 stories from my people. Which one do I want? I'm going to pick the stories, right? So the value of what we're doing cannot be quantified. There is no monetary stamp that I could say on this. All right. Now, I can tell you that with our investments here, what we're doing here, there are things that people come in and they pay us to do certain services for them, right? When we have ghostwriting services, when people say, "Hey, I want you to do this. I want you to edit my stuff. I want you to create my book covers." All of those things have values to them, but the output of writing your life story, unquantifiable. There is no amount that I can put on that, okay? At all, right? So the investment, though, to join the program does have an amount. And what that is $2,000. This is a 2K experience. Now, for some of you, you're like, "Oh my God, I thought it was going to be 10. I thought it was going to be 15,000. And some of you are like, "Oh my God, 2,000, how am I going to do it?" Like Sister Viola said, some people may be eating beans for the next 6 months to make it happen. I don't know. You got to do what you got to do, right? But what we're not going to do is sit around and like wish and hope and dream and keep our goals on the back burner for some dollar. We can make that up, right? You can make that up. So $2,000 is the investment to join the Legacy Story Keepers. What it gets you is all of the classes. It also gets you the actual support from myself and from my coaches. We have new coaches that are going to be added, you all. It's so exciting. I'm super excited about our new coaches that are coming in to help run the program and everything else that comes in as well. All right. So it's a 2K investment. Now, for those of you who don't have the 2K now, when you pay in full, you get some bonuses because it simplifies our accounting, makes things easier for myself and my team and such. So when you pay in full, you get a bonus. Your bonus is a one-on-one with me or one of my legacy coaches, where we're going to actually help you jumpstart your book. Some of you who have already started writing, we can actually take a look at that real quick and like say, hey, what about this? What about that? We're going to give you a private one-on-one jumpstart. So that's for the full pay bonus. Okay, we're going to give a full pay bonus. But I know for some of us, it may be a little bit hard to drop the 2K right now. If that is the case, I don't want you pushing this off until next week, next month, or God forbid, next year or something, thinking that you got tomorrow promised, because we already know none of us is promised tomorrow. Okay, so for that, we have what we call our legacy payment plan. So we have a payment plan that allows you to get started now today with just a $300 deposit. Everybody say $300 deposit. That's going to get you in the door. That's going to allow you to start with the work in the portal. That's going to also allow you to come to the next office hours, which are on Monday, this upcoming Monday. So you can actually get into the portal right now. Start with the start here. There's something that's going to say start here. I'm going to walk you through that in a minute. And you actually get to join the Legacy Story Keepers. Get started on your story right now for just what? $300 deposit. Okay, $300 deposit. Like I said, Sister Ayola said, eat beans and get the book done, right? Get it done. Now, I have to say that I've been doing this for a long time, y'all. This is not my first rodeo. I've been in books now since 2009. 2009. I know I got a baby face. 2009 is when I actually started in publishing. And throughout that time, over the years, I've had people that come to me and they say, Z, I want to write a book. Z, I want to interview my grandfather. Z, I want to write my story. Z, it's time. I should write my story. And then guess what? I see them 6 months later, and guess what they're saying? Z, I wish. And they stay in that wish land until something happens that either now they can't do it anymore. They may have lost someone. We've had some people hit dementia and they weren't able to complete their things anymore. I've had people that came back and said, oh my God, my grandfather was totally healthy. He was like, fine. I thought we had like so much more time. And then now my grandfather is gone. Like one girl came up to me, I should have listened. I said, yo, chick, I told you, like none of us are promised tomorrow. If we think that we can control the time, don't let the sun come up tomorrow. You stop it. You stop the sun from coming up tomorrow. We don't want no more tomorrow. You stop it. Can you do it? No, we don't control this time. We don't have control of anything like that. We are not as powerful as we think we are. However, sometimes we are extremely arrogant, and we assume that we can just do whatever. And that's not true. So I don't want these precious stories to slip further and further away. And trust me, you don't even want to be in some fresh suit or some fresh, new pumps, or you got these diamond earrings and your story ain't done. You don't even want that for yourself, because the guilt that you're going to feel. Maya Angelou said that there is no greater burden than holding a story inside. Right? She said there is no greater burden than holding a story inside. So I don't want that guilt for you all at all, right? I don't want that guilt for you all. So I'm going to drop the link for you to join the Legacy Story Keepers. If you have any questions, we're going to be here to answer your questions. I don't know if can you guys still hear me or not? Because it looks like the camera is messed up on my screen, but I cannot see if it is. Somebody tell me, can you all hear me? Oh, look at Fatima. Our editor is here. Fatima, babe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. One of our amazing Legacy Story Keepers editor is here. Jarbled. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. Miss Akua, is it any clearer? Any clearer? Yes? Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm going to leave the camera off. Forgive me for that, please. I'm going to leave the camera off for a moment because we don't know what the funky technology is doing. All right. Okay. Yes. Keisha, I turned the camera off because something was happening with the sound and it was garbled. So I turned it off for a moment. So please forgive me for that. But what I want you all to do right now is just to listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. We don't have tomorrow. We are not promised anything. If this is on your heart, then I'm going to invite you to join us right now today. How do you join? There should be a link on, there should be an offer or button on your screen right now where it says Legacy Story Keepers, Life Story Academy. Okay, there should be a link right there. If you don't see it, let me know and I will bring it up for you. I'm going to actually get the link and drop it into the chat box as well so that you can see it there. And then we're going to open up for questions because this is a time, we're in a beautiful time right now. We're in a beautiful time that isn't always going to stay the same. So it behooves us, if you will. Yes, thank you, Fatima. I appreciate it. It behooves us to take advantage of what we have right now, right? Take advantage of what we have right now. So how many of you all have questions about the Legacy Story Keepers? How many of you all can see yourself holding your story in your hand just a few months from now? How many of you all know someone in your bloodline would be able to benefit from you sharing what you know right now, your wisdom, your knowledge, your skills, or maybe the skills of someone that you know? How many of you all have somebody that you know needs to get this done for themselves? How many of you all feel that this legacy work is important work? And if you feel that way, then we invite you to join. If you're someone who doesn't really care about this, then we don't want you to come on in because we got a family over here. You see our family in the chat. Sister Zenoria, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sister Zenoria is writing some of the history of the African American Muslim community in Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia. She has done research. She put out a call for submissions. She has people that have been introducing their own history in here, adding their own words to her work. And so she's doing the work, right? She also was very lucky to have her mom live a long time. And she was the caregiver for her mom, which was so beautiful that she had her mother for so long in her life, right? But these are the type of people that you're connected with when you come into the Legacy Story Keepers. Yeah, she said, love you, cousins. We call them Cousins Collective. So we are a family indeed, right? We're a family indeed. And like I told you all, you're going to be able to meet more of the family on February 15th at our next graduation, February 15th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time is our next story launch, right? Story launch graduation. Okay, so that is coming up on that day. You'll be able to do that. But for you here If you're here, you're listening to me, I want you to join the family. If you feel called to do this work, if you want to have people supporting you, if you want to have folks holding your hand, and I've asked you to come on in, click on the link and join the program. You can either do the full pay or you can do the deposit. And the deposit was what? $300, right? So that gets you in the door. $300. And I do have to say, this is not to scare anyone, but it is a fact. It is a fact. We meet with this group 2 times a week. 2 times a week. We invest thousands, actually, of dollars having other people teach us how to use AI, teach us how to put together our courses and our materials so that we can actually offer that for you all. It's an expensive program to run, to be quite frank. It's an expensive program to run, and it's not going to stay at this $2,000 price for too much longer. It just is unsustainable. I mean, like, it is what it is. It is unsustainable. And this work is too important. Like, the things that people have been able to benefit from doing this work, like Sister Willie said, this changed her entire life. Right? It changed her entire life. It's not going to stay at this price. So I'm telling you all right now, giving you a heads up. Come on in, put the $300 down, do whatever you have to do right now to get in. If you can do the full pay, do the full pay. If you can do the $300 deposit, then do the $300 deposit and get in. For those of you who are doing the full pay, once you come in, you're going to get access to all of the materials. You're going to get a separate email. All right. When you go through and register, you're going to get a separate email that gives you access to the actual class portal. And then you'll start to get our emails specifically about the program. Okay. You'll get those. Those who are doing the full pay, you will get a scheduled link later for someone to sit down and do your jumpstart. Okay. So if you want that special one-on-one touch with the jumpstart, then you're going to be able to do that. All right. So let me see if there are any questions that you all have. Let me know. I'm not going to be on here too long because remember I told you guys my tire blew out and I have to go back and get my replacement. I have to go back and get my replacement so that I can shuttle these kids. All I am is a glorified taxi driver. I ain't even gonna lie. I was trying to figure out yesterday, how can I get out of this? And I think, oh my God, was it my ingratitude that caused my tire to go out today? Because I was in a funky little mood yesterday, driving back and forth to these basketball practices and volleyball and over here. I mean, literally, it was a lot. It was like hours that I was driving. And I ain't even gonna lie, I was in a funky little mood. So maybe God was like, look, little girl, maybe that's why my tire blew out today. Like, you better be grateful. I don't know. I don't know what it was or why or whatever, but what I do know is that I got to go get my tire. So if there are any questions that you all have, let me know. And oh, I forgot one last thing. Let me see. We have a coupon code, and I think it is Legacy. If you join today, utilizing the coupon code Legacy, it's going to give you $100 off, even for the deposit too. So that means that with the $300 deposit, if you use the code Legacy, it's going to take your deposit down to just $200. That's a no-brainer. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for y'all, right? Like, I really am. I'm really trying to make it as easy as possible for y'all. Right. So when you use the code Legacy, I think it's LEGACY. It's either that or it's lowercase or don't hate me, you guys. I think it's all three of these. If you have any problem, just go ahead and register and then email my team, legacy@legacystorykeepers.com, and we'll make sure. Do you have to be in order to participate in the Monday and Wednesday talks? Yes, Teresa, Miss Teresa, those Monday and Wednesday classes are for paid members of the Legacy Story Keepers. They are private. They are not open for the public. We talk about a lot of things in those classes, and there is a sense of confidentiality there. there is a sense of mutual respect and growth. And so, yes, those Monday and Wednesday classes are just for the paid members of the Legacy Story Keepers. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Yes, 2,000. 2K is the program. When you paid in full, it's 2K. When you pay in full, you're going to get a special one-on-one session that is a private one-on-one session. Private session one-on-one. So you get access to a private one-on-one session to help you jumpstart and really get centered with your project. Okay, so that is the paid in full bonus. You get that when you pay in full. And then the payment plan, you have a deposit of $300. And then you'll see it on the page. So when you guys go to legacystorykeepers.com, everybody go there to that page, legacystorykeepers.com/join, or you can just click on the little offer. I think it's still there. You'll see the options on the page, and it should let you register and such. If you have any issues, then you can email my team at legacystorykeepers.com. Email us. But the coupon code is only going to be valid for today. So that's for those of you who sign up today, you're going to get that extra $100 off. All right. So you're going to use the code Legacy, and it's going to give you $100 off. Yep, and it works. I just tested it. So I just typed in Legacy and the coupon code was applied. So that works. So you can either use that for the one-time payment or the deposit as well. And you can choose which payment plan is best for you. They all are going to get you immediate access, okay? And you'll be able to join our next office hours, which is going to be on Monday. Anybody is not able to join the office hours in person, you also can drop questions in our private Facebook group, and we will answer those on the next office hours time. So if you're ever not able to make it in person, you can do that as well, and you'll still get your answers there. So I'm going to type in legacystorykeepers.com. That's for the email. All right. So it's time, you all. If you've been thinking about this, don't just keep thinking forever. Like, make it happen. You know what I mean? People wish and hope and dream that they can do something like this. You have it sitting in front of you. We have already done the work and are doing the work to make sure that you get what you need. So use us. Use us in a good way. You know, people say, I don't want you to be using me. I'm telling you, I'm begging you to use us. I really feel that God put this on my heart because it's important and because I'm good at it. You know, I don't want to sound arrogant or whatever, but I am good at what I do, point blank. That's without a doubt. And so I thank God for that. But I also thank God that my clients and the people that come to work with us, I'm thankful that they actually use what it is that we put together. I'm so thankful for that. So like Sister Willie, Sister Iola, Brother Nazim, Sister Nafisa, Sister Zenoria, everybody who is a part of the Legacy Story Keepers team, Fatima, Michelle, I thank you all for being a part of this movement. You know, like I tell it, we're going for 100,000 stories. You may say that's not possible. I say it's just a drop in the bucket. How many people are there on this planet? 7 billion or something? I forgot. But it's a lot. It's a lot of people on this planet. So look at the library that we're creating, though. We're creating a niche library, right? We're creating a library like no other, built off of people's real life experiences. And we're inviting you to join us. So if you have any questions, let us know. Don't go to bed today without getting your questions answered. Please Don't go to bed today without getting your questions answered. All right. That coupon legacy allows you to come on in and have $100. You can use that towards some balloons for when you finish this, whatever it is that you want to, right? You can use that, but don't let the opportunity pass you by. All right, I'm going to ask you all, are there any last questions that you have for me right here today, right now? Any last questions? If not, I'm going to bid you adieu so I can go get my tire. I can't wait to see those of you who are joining the Legacy Story Keepers. You're going to be in our next cohort. You're going to be walking across our virtual stage with your stories. My team and I are more than excited to have you all with us and join the family. Everybody knows where to go, right? I want you to go over to legacystorykeepers.com/join. Look at that page, because that page actually has three payment options. I told you about two, but there's one other payment option as well. It's on the page. When you click on there, you'll be able to see it. And you can use the coupon legacy for any three of those. All right. I love you all. I invite you all to join us and let us record our stories while we can, because none of us are promised tomorrow, but our stories are rich and we will no longer allow them to be buried 6 feet in the ground. Thank you to everyone who participated. Miss Willie, Sister Iola, thank you for coming on and sharing live. And all of my Legacy Story Keepers in the chat, I love you all. All right, have a great day, everybody. Peace.